Okay, I'm back again for another short trip along the Delaware Bay. It's still November 23rd, it's the same day I just made a video going over into Cape May, and I thought I would take a quick ride along the bay. I showed some of the Bayshore area, at least the portion that falls within North Cape May. I showed that on a previous video, but I thought I would take a ride up beyond North Cape May over into Townbank, maybe up into the Wildwood Villas. It's about dusk here. You can see it's pretty empty down here by the bay, and I wanted to just show some of these other Bayshore communities. Cape May is a pretty old community, but this whole area of South Jersey really got settled in the early 1600s. I think was initially founded by a guy named Henry Hudson, and Henry Hudson was an English sailor, I guess, captain of a ship that was hired by the Dutch East Indies Company, I guess, to try to find a Northwest Passage, a waterway through North America from England or from Europe to the Far East. And I think this guy Henry Hudson that founded the area is probably what gave rise to the Harpoon Henrys that you see here. That is probably named after Henry Hudson. Now, Henry Hudson was, as I said, was a captain of a ship. He was not a whaler. But when he founded this area in search of that Northwest Passage, the Dutch came to settle this area, and it was largely a fishing or whaling community. It was sort of a strategic location. South of this area was held by the Spanish. North of this area was held by the French. This was, 100 years before the English really made a significant settlement here. So anyway, I'm crossing into Townbank now. I just left North Cape May and I'm in the Townbank. So this area was settled initially by the Dutch, and throughout most of the 17th century, the Dutch held this area, and they really thought that it was going to be good for whaling. In fact, I think Cape May got its name from a subsequent captain of a ship, a Dutch captain by the name of Cornelius May. I think it was spelled M-E-Y, not M-A-Y, and that's really what how Cape May got its name. This area that I'm riding along here is called Townbank. And I don't think this really got very well developed during most of the 1600s, 17th century. As a matter of fact, I don't think this portion of Cape May County, the Bay area, the Bayshore area, really didn't experience much of a growth in population until well into the 20th century, when the Garden State Parkway was completed. Garden State Parkway was completed, I think, in 1953, and it really opened up the southern tip of New Jersey to tourists from New York and northern New Jersey. The Garden State Parkway runs from about the George Washington Bridge. I guess right now it runs from the northernmost part of New Jersey right to the southern tip of the state. And the last 27 miles are in Cape May County. And it was when that was completed, it really opened up this area to tourists, as I said, primarily from New York and northern New Jersey. And then there was a land development company at some point after that purchased a lot of the land in North Cape May and developed it and sold it to a lot of people from Philadelphia and Camden, primarily retirement age people. So the explosion in population that occurred after the completion of the Garden State Parkway, Cape May, North Cape May and the Bayshore areas experienced far more population growth than any of the barrier islands did. So anyway, I'm just coming along, I'm not sure what the name of this road is, but coming up into, I think I left Townbank. Coming up into some portion along here will turn into the villas. So there's not really much for me to comment on here. Again, I just thought it would be interesting to show some more of the communities up along the shore of the eastern shore of the Delaware Bay. I'm not sure how colorful any of this is because it's, as I said, it's really around dusk. It's 4:30 on November 23rd, so the sun looks like it's about to set soon. As a matter of fact, I think I'll turn around up here and head back, and maybe it'll be a decent sunset, although it's been fairly overcast today. But I've mentioned some of the sunsets in some of the previous videos that I put up, so since I'm out at this time, maybe it's an opportunity to take a ride along the bay while the sun is setting. There's a plaque at the end of Townbank Road where North Cape May ends and turns into Townbank, and I'm pretty sure that little plaque or monument says that this was the site of one of the first towns founded in this area called Portsmouth in 1609. Interestingly enough, I think that-that's largely folklore. I don't know that anybody has ever really proven that this town of Portsmouth, was right here. In fact, the Delaware Bay has taken up a fair amount of land, swallowed up a fair amount of land over the past couple of hundred years. So, if in fact it was the site of Portsmouth, it would be out in the bay. But I don't think I've ever seen anything authoritative there was a period of time where there wasn't much documentation of the history of this area from about 1630 to about 1680. That was about 50 years where there was very little record of what was happening in this part of the country. And I think you can see it looks like it might be a pretty decent sunset. It's hard to judge until it actually gets time for the sun to set whether or not you're going to have a decent sunset. But this looks like it'll be a pretty good one. So I'm not going to stay for the whole sunset, but I think on the video the sun won't look as big as it does to me right now. I think it will probably appear much smaller in the video, but it is a beautiful sunset. You can see the clouds overhead, but it looks like you're going to see the sun fall below the water. So that's it. I wanted to just take a ride along to show a little bit of the other communities along the Bayshore area, and maybe catch a little bit of the sunset that I referred to on previous videos. So I hope you enjoyed it, and that's it.